Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Check-In. I am Sara Orlesky. This is
Jaime Thomas. I need this little makeup up here.
we'll get distracted by it.
Look how shiny that is. Wow.
Thanks so much for joining us. As we said to you in episode 1 or show 1 the other day, you are going to be able to join us for all 82 games. We are going to get you ready for the Winnipeg Jets regular season games throughout the year. We are really excited about it. You can watch us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. And one of our favorite things about this show is going to be the opportunity to interact with you, the fans, as well. We want to hear from you. We want to get excited about the games. And we are also going to get you all set for the game of the day. Tonight it is against, oh, you're already laughing.
Well,
the volume is
Chef
good.
Richard's volume is good today.
Hey, we're going to take that as a win.
Show is over. We have done everything we need to do.
You know what? It's a Friday. We'll just take it as a win and call it good. Moving along.
Forget the home opener. You guys can deal with yourself. So,
we are very excited for the home opener tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks, 7 p.m. down here at Canada Life Center. Today, we are going to, over the next half hour, hear from Adam Lowry. Really excited to have TSN analyst Frankie Corrado join us as well as we help get you set for the game.
there was some confusion for a little bit about who our guest was today. So I kept asking Sarah about Darren Pang. So there was some, friction between us to start because I wasn't really listening to her telling us who the guest was. So
again,
Frankie Corrado.
Show 2, not listening to me already.
Frankie Corrado from TSN will be joining us here momentarily, about 9 minutes from now. And as Sarah mentioned, Adam Lowry, the captain of the Winnipeg Jets, will be with us. Lots of places to go, Sarah, because when you walk into Edmonton, the Western Conference champions, and you beat them 6-0, a lot of reasons for excitement. And I think a big reason for that excitement was the third line.
Of course.
Adam Lowry, Mason Appleton, Nino Niederreiter put on a tremendous show. The power play scored twice on 3 opportunities. And
we talked a lot about the special teams heading into that game as well.
That was part of our questioning with Paul Edmonds the other day. So that was nice to see how that turned out. And although the Jets were only shorthanded once, when you contain Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and company to no power play goals and no goals, period. And in total, Draisaitl and McDavid only had 3 shots, I believe. So just an impressive team performance by the Winnipeg Jets. And, talking to the guys today, I think a lot of it was they got to do it all over again. Right. That's like you have this great game in Edmonton to start the year, and Connor Hellebuyck gets his 38th career shutout. Now you got to do it again. So, and of course, Scott O'Neill was talking about the distractions that come with the home opener. We asked Paul Edmonds about that. And, there's a long ceremony before the game. Yep. The Jets are going to have to address that and be ready when the puck drops here tonight against Chicago. Yeah,
looking forward to it. With this being 12:30, so the skates have already happened for both teams already today. The Jets were on the ice at 10:30 this morning. You take a look at their lines if we can pull them up a second. This is no surprise. When you win 6-0 and have the showing that they did, you do not make any changes for it. So same group will be going on the ice today, and the Chicago Blackhawks finished up their optional skate just a short while ago. Let's get into what the question of the day is going to be as we try to get some discussion going between everybody here. So, which Jets player will score first tonight? I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Here we go. Please.
No.
Please.
There's
entertain us.
No.
Entertain us.
That's what I'm here to do.
Okay, go.
I think a safe bet. You never know, but a safe bet can always be number 55, Mark Scheifele. I mean, he did lead the team in scoring and on home ice last year as well. So it's always a safe bet. It's just, I don't like to go out too far off. I don't like to take too big of a chance or a risk. Maybe, if I did, I would say Connor Hellebuyck, but Gabe Vilardi as a choice.
Yeah.
Josh Morrissey as well. KC, again, a great choice.
Doug says Morrissey, or D says Morrissey. Doug says Niederreiter. Of course, that third line was just so a +9 against the Edmonton Oilers on the road. Just speaks to how they want to get the season started off right. So there's another Arf is Arf. Scheifele. Choosing yours.
Nino goal. I can't wait. One of my favorite things about home games too are the goal songs. And I look forward to it every year to see which player is going to choose which song. I always hope, sometimes I'm a little judgmental with them. I think, that's maybe not what I would have gone with. We like to sit up there.
Wow. It's their goal song.
I know, but you want one that you can get the crowd into, that you can sing along with.
House on Fire was good. Kyle Connor's goal song is amazing.
For it.
Totally
So
suits.
I like to think about, do you ever listen to music on the way in? Like, have your own game day songs that you listen to?
No, I'm always
No.
listening to
Okay.
what we've done to be perfect the next time we do something. So I just watch it over and over again just to see,
You're
I could
such
have
a
been so
liar.
much better. So much better.
So I
than the
used to,
last one.
even when I did sidelines for football, I like to put in
Okay.
AirPods and listen and try to imagine myself as since I am a failed athlete, I just like to put in the AirPods and listen to the music and try to get myself hyped up as well. So that's maybe something that we should look at doing.
Okay.
Coming up with
Our own goal songs?
Well, our own songs, maybe, or an entry song or
Isn't
something.
Helly's
We'll come
goal
up
song
with it.
Gangnam Style? Isn't it that one?
That's right. I would
Yeah.
love to hear that. We'll see whether or not he goes ahead with it. Connor Hellebuck, speaking of that, coming in off of the shutout, the first time the Winnipeg Jets goaltender has had a shutout in the season opening game season. How does he do in home openers so far?
Okay, hit me.
Undefeated,
Wow.
7 wins, 2.27 goals against average, and a 928 save percentage is what historically he has been. So
Good question from Eric. What would my goal song be?
what would your goal song be?
2 Minutes to Midnight from Iron Maiden. How about that one?
I'm going to have to Google that
Yeah,
one.
it's a classic
Yes.
one from the 80s.
Okay.
I might be aging myself with that one. So there it is, Eric. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that. Sarah didn't ask me that question, but thank you, Eric, so much for playing along.
Well, you know what? That's why we love to be able to interact.
Right. Frankie Corrado joining us in 5 minutes. Jets captain Adam Lowry is Sarah's first subject of the year on the bench interview. So we'll have that a little bit later coming up in the show. But a reminder, keep coming those answers in about who do you think will score first tonight. We'll see how that goes. But
So let's stick with goaltenders
Yeah.
for a second. So mentioned the numbers that Connor Hellebuck had both in the last game and what he has in home openers as well. Some other goaltending news was yesterday. There's a lot of questions about who the backup goaltender was going to be, who was going to win that job. It was the battle throughout training camp,
Yes.
and it appears, at least for now, that the job is Eric Comrie's.
yeah, fantastic for Eric Comrie. Like just listening to the guys talk about Eric Comrie coming back to Winnipeg again. Mark Scheifele extremely excited about it. Connor Hellebuck was excited about it. Josh Morrissey obviously grew up playing with, played a lot of hockey in their younger years with Eric Comrie too. So he was just thrilled about it. So congratulations to Eric Comrie for being named the official backup. The Jets were going with 3 goaltenders because Connor Hellebuck had a family matter to attend to before the season started. So they started game 1 with 3 goaltenders on the roster. We're waiting to find out if Capo Kakkonen is going to find his way through waivers and make his way eventually to the Manitoba Moose, who will be getting under their rosters in too. So
Yeah.
the Moose will be getting underway here right away towards the end of the month of October. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and it's great to have of Eric Comrie just being back in the organization, period. One of the most likable players that you've ever
Yes.
come across. He is just such a good person, does a ton of work within the community as well, and is one of those guys that when you think about how many challenges he's had in terms of trying to find a regular spot, a regular landing spot. He's been with this organization now 3-4 times.
The funny part is you lose track of how many times. But
Yes, but he just always has a smile on his face. He's just, the attitude is, he just is that type of person that you want to be around. So we do know that the backup position is a position, while very important, you don't get as much playing time when you're backing up Vezina winning.
We're distracted a little bit because it looks like they're starting the show before the home opener begins. They're just testing the speakers and everything like that. So it sounds good just for those of you coming to the game tonight.
Yes, and don't forget, if you are, we want you to hear in the building if possible. If not, pregame show starts at 6:30 on TSN, and you can also listen on CJOB. All right, let's see. Is Frankie?
Frankie has not popped in yet. So maybe we'll take this opportunity to run the Runway's debuting tonight, right, for season 3. So how about we pull that up into the stage, and congratulations on year number 3 of this. The trailer for never mind. Frankie Corrado is in the house. So let's bring this handsome little devil into the broadcast and look at this. Look at you.
What's happening?
When was the last time that you were introduced as a handsome little devil?
I think back in the 5th grade, my mother made.
You're welcome. Oh, there he is. Okay, so Frankie, we're going to put you on the spot right away. So the Jets get that 6-0 win in Edmonton on Wednesday night. The question to you as we start things off is how do the Jets build off that impressive opening night win, starting with tonight?
More of the same. Like I think we're going to see the depth of this team is really going to have to be, what catapults it offensively. And it's just for the Jets, like they understand how to play in the regular season. Like the template is there for them. And if the more they get all their players involved offensively, the more they can make life easier on Connor Hellebuck and net. Like they know how to do it, and they've done it for a long time. So there's really, there's not much that needs to change for them at this point in the season, and it's something that they're pretty comfortable with.
Question number 2. So you saw that, the third line was so huge and instrumental on Wednesday night. Rasmus Kapara gets a goal. So, you look at a team like Edmonton, they have these elite players, but how helpful is depth over an 82-game schedule and even further into the playoffs?
It is for so many different reasons, but, in the case for the Jets, and specifically that third line, like that third line it serves many different purposes. Like you get the defensive aspect out of them, like, they're never going to be a liability. The other thing, they have the opportunity to maybe hem the other team's top line or top D pairing in their own defensive zone for, 30 seconds, and then maybe get, those tired bodies on the ice with the Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele pairing and let those guys go to work. Like, I just think, having that depth, it allows the lines to kind of flow really well. And like, that's the tricky thing about playing a team like Winnipeg, where the lines are not all the same, but they have a different kind of effect that can blend into each other. And that's when, I feel like that's when the Jets are at their best offensively.
I wanted to ask you about Chicago, Frankie. Obviously still in the rebuilding stage. We know the struggles that they had last season. I mean, more are anticipated this year. But when they built the roster this year, they really looked, we didn't know if maybe we'd see younger players to be there alongside Connor Bedard, but they once again went with veterans. We saw a number of them be added to the lineup. How do you look at the Chicago team this year and maybe the changes that they've made and the improvements that you're looking to see?
For me, it's all about surrounding Connor Bedard with a little more help this year so they can get the best out of him. At some point, Chicago is going to look to push to be a playoff team. And for that to happen, Connor Bedard has to be, we've used the word generational, but like he has to be a superstar in the NHL. The only way to get him there is to actually get him some help. And this year, having guys like Teravainen and Bertuzzi and a healthy Taylor Hall and, a more, veteran blue line that can, maybe weather the storm in their own zone a little more and get the puck up to them, that'll make a difference for Bedard because it's not going to feel like he's getting caved in his own zone as much and, maybe allows him to play offensively a little bit more. They're not a playoff team yet. And the thing they did is, they signed a lot of these guys on some shorter term deals. So, down the road, you can maybe move some of these guys, accumulate some assets and keep building for the future. But it's all around, it's all about building Connor Bedard and getting him to superstar status for their team to be better. And this year is kind of the first year of them taking that step.
Well, we're so glad that we got you to flash back to grade 5 and being called a handsome little devil. More than happy to bring it up. And I'm really disappointed you didn't have the helmet display behind you for this one, but maybe next time, my friend.
Yeah, no problem. We'll have it going on Sunday for the broadcast.
Yeah, Frankie's joining the Jets on TSN broadcast analyst. You'll be able to see him pregame intermissions as well. Sunday's game against the Minnesota Wild. Thanks so much for this, Frankie. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Frankie. So as I was before Frankie joined us, Runway's back for year number 3. You've got another episode coming up during the broadcast on TSN tonight. Tell us a little bit about before I show the trailer, or do you want the trailer to go first?
No, so let's talk about it. So Runway, as many people now know, is our behind-the-scenes series, trying to give you a glimpse of what's going on behind, pull back the curtain a little bit for it. We've continued to make improvements, or try to, every season, and continue to tell the story of the Winnipeg Jets, their players, the organization as well. So tonight, as you mentioned, we have episode 1 of this season. It takes a look at training camp, some of the storylines that go into it, but very excited for another year of it.
Here's the trailer.
A lot of people really interested to see what the Winnipeg Jets can do and build on another 52-win season.
Right off the hop, Barney's big messaging to us is he just wants to see compete. I want to be in that top 6 to start the year. So
whether you're a veteran guy or a young guy, this is all about the Jets winning.
There's another level that we need to get to. I want that now.
All right. So tell us
Just
a little bit about this.
just a little bit of a teaser, therefore, but I think it really embodies the themes of what we've heard from Scott Arniel all throughout training camp. It wants that competitiveness. He wants that level of competition to be at such a high level, recognizing that you can't just turn it on when the playoffs start. He wants to be able to see it throughout the season. We certainly saw it in game 1, and looking forward to. We've got a great crew working on Runway again this year, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, we got a couple of new staff members to work on it. So
we do, and they're very excited about it. So it should be a great one. I just want to go back to what Frankie was talking about at the very end with respect to Chicago. If we just turn our attention there for a couple minutes, but that idea of insulating Connor Bedard a little bit more, bringing on some more veterans. You kind of forget just how many they've added in Tyler Bertuzzi. They've added on the blue line Taylor Hall being healthy this year because he was sidelined for so much of last year. And Nick Foligno, when he was named captain, with a lot of the articles that I've been reading, I mean, the two sit beside each other. Foligno and Bedard sit beside each other, at home and on the road as well. And just to be able to have Bedard learn from guys like that, because the amount of scrutiny that he has, one of the things that when speaking with Chicago media that they've said is that he handles it really well. His accessibility is great in terms of being available in the room and talking about things, but he's a teenager at the end of the day.
Just turned 19.
To have that spotlight on you. I mean, one day maybe we'll go into what you were like when you were 19, because we can only.
We can't even have that on the show anyway. So
we can't.
No.
Yeah,
but what not?
That'd be a whole separate stream.
That would be a fascinating documentary, but I can't unload that on.
I have long said, everybody, that you better hope that one day Jaime Thomas writes a book.
Yeah.
Because that is the only way to hear. But they're highly entertaining stories. If we look back here. Again, as we go through special fans at the game tonight from Salmon Arm. Love that. Runway over face-off. Love Runway. Perfect. Glad to hear it. I think that it's – what do we have? Can you explain why the NHL would schedule the Jets game at 7 when they knew the Bomber game?
We were just talking about this earlier.
We were. It's always a pet peeve of mine when you always hate to have it because you know that the passionate fan base in Winnipeg – Bombers fans are Jets fans are Bombers, and so often, and sometimes, unfortunately, we've seen it before. Inevitably, we will see it again. That sometimes there are just conflicts when you're trying to plan out an 82 game schedule that you can't avoid. But we're wishing the Bombers the best of luck in their game tonight, just like we are the Jets.
Certainly. Okay, as promised, Adam Lowry had a huge night in Edmonton the other night. He also got the great opportunity to hang out with.
Game in the books, obviously, but the home opener here tonight, what is it like for you coming in as captain, home opener, and just the atmosphere surrounding a game like this?
Yeah, it's always exciting. I think to get the first one out of the way on the road and with a win is nice, but to return back to Winnipeg and play in front of the fans at Canada Life, it's an exciting time. There's always a buzz in the building, and we're excited to get things underway tonight.
What was it that worked so well in that game against Edmonton?
Well, I think we controlled the middle of the ice. Obviously, with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they like to get to the middle. They like to make plays, and we were able to keep them to the outside and really just limit their chances. I think if you can limit Edmonton's speed up front, and we were able to turn pucks over on the forecheck and spend some more time, especially in the first half of the game, in their end, and generated chances from below the goal line. When the score gets out of reach, the game kind of looks a little different, and we spend a little more time than we'd like in our end in the third, but I'm definitely happy with the outcome.
I feel there was so much talk about your line and the production that you three were able to have in that game. The chemistry, just carries over from last season. What do you attribute that to? Just because of how much time you guys have played together?
Yeah, well, I think one of it is, time spent, and especially last year we were able to really develop that chemistry, and just kind of knowing the spots guys are going to be when pucks are in certain areas, and the reads we're able to make off of each other. A couple of great plays by Nino, and a great play by Appy on Samby's goal. So Yeah, I think the familiarity really helps. We didn't spend a lot of time in games together in the exhibition, but being able to get the one in Calgary before the Edmonton one helps, and it's nice to have nights like that. I don't know if that's going to become the standard, but hopefully we can continue that tonight.
We were wishing that we'd had you mic'd up for it. We had such a great one with you last year for it. We wish that it had been the case again.
Yeah, no. I think I might not wear a mic until I cool off.
Final question, facing the Blackhawks here tonight, what is it that you need to be aware of with this team that's obviously made a few changes to their roster from last season?
Yeah, I think the important thing is to realize that they've added some real important pieces. Teravainen and Hull coming back. Connor Bedard's a year older, and we all know what he can do and what he did against us last year. So it's important we kind of come out with the same mindset that it's going to start with our work ethic. We're going to have to outwork them and get pucks behind their D. I think we're a real effective team when we're forechecking, we're moving the puck fast, and we're really excited to get this one going.
We're excited as well. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sarah.
When you guys mic'd him up last year, that was the season opener against Florida, right? I think everything was it that game.
It was the home opener
against Florida.
Yes,
like it couldn't have worked out any better. And then that's when you knew that Runway was in a good position because everything that happened in that game.
It all fell into place.
And him chirping with Matthew Tkachuk, a lot of stuff clearly couldn't go to air, but it was some fun times for sure. Listen to that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
To be able, what you love when you mic a player for any reason when things pan out and you're able to go, oh, a key moment happened, or oh, there was a fight, or something like that.
Yeah.
You love when something goes right, because you're just sometimes you go, well, maybe this matchup, maybe this person would be a good person to go with, or you're riding the hot hand, and sometimes it just works out. One of the things when I asked Adam about facing the Blackhawks, it would be interesting to see what Scott Arniel's perspective is regarding the Chicago team, because I don't think that he's going to look, or I'd be surprised maybe if he tried to match lines hard. It's one of my questions that I always like to ask from a coach, because you have so many options with the Jets as to how you're going to try to contain top players. I don't think, obviously, that Chicago has the same sort of threats as what you saw in Edmonton, where maybe you'd be a little bit more worried about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So it'll be interesting to see who gets tasked with it tonight and whether or not we see it flip throughout the game.
Yeah, I think too. Remember last year, Chicago gave Winnipeg all kinds of struggles. I just think how bad, bad in terms of point production in the standings Chicago was, but the games with the Jets were always tight and highly competitive. But looking forward to seeing how that shakes out tonight. So pretty much that's going to be us. You got something else you want to add before we go?
I do. We're just cutting it short right now. Okay.
What?
No,
What?
just Jamie's had enough.
I have a game preview to write. I don't know about you. I have stuff I have to do. Do we have permission from the audience for me to check out right now or no?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Look,
what do we want?
Oh, DeMello would be a great choice to have mic'd up. I do.
Oh.
I mean, he is underrated for how funny he is. But what I was wanting to say was, could we look at the Chicago lines?
Yeah.
So they had an optional skate. This is why we do a rundown, but that's okay. We don't need to pay attention to it. It's just, that's fine.
And I don't look in other people's monitors like you do. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So if you look at, this was from yesterday. This was from practice. It was an optional skate this morning, but this is what we're expecting to see. Now, we saw some changes to their lines from that first game that they played in Utah. Yeah. So they came up short in Utah. Blackhawks on the road for 4 straight. They will also play actually tomorrow night in Edmonton, and then they finish up their road trip in Calgary. But you see, Foligno's moved up with Bedard. You see Bertuzzi on that second line as well. A little bit of changes on that blue line. So take a look if you're interested as to what the Blackhawks lineup is expected to be here this evening.
Yeah, and Alec Martinez, a nice addition for the Blackhawks as well, pairing with Seth Jones on their first defense pairing. TJ Brody, saw him in a Flames uniform for a very long time. So lots of changes to the Blackhawks, and will not be an easy out, no question about that.
All right. Well, This is the first of three. Look at you. This is
I'm
the
so
first,
embarrassed.
as you should be.
Fine.
This is the first of three meetings between the Jets and the Blackhawks this season. The next final two are in Chicago, but always looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining all of us here today. We appreciate all of your conversation, all of your input in there as well. I know that many of you have said on here that you are going to be going back and forth between the two games, with the Bombers playing tonight as well, or you are here and you are PVRing that game to be able to watch when you get home.
Tough choices.
But we always appreciate when you choose to spend a little bit of time with us. Don't forget, you can watch us on every Jets game day, 12:30 Central on X, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you don't have the chance for whatever reason to be able to join us live that day, you can always watch the show afterwards on the platforms.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on Sunday.
I might be by myself. Who knows?
You're what, by yourself now?